Alright, what is up guys, Toasty here, Get Burnt. Today I'm going to be talking more about Dragon Ball Xenoverse, and today you must have already heard of it, but we have a few new screenshots as well as an announcement of DLC. So yeah, a lot of people have been saying bad things about this, and I will get to that later in the video, but I'm just going to go over the stuff that's actually been said to happen. So apparently these are actually going to be paid through DLC that will cost $24.99 if you purchase the season pass, which is up front, or it will be $9.99 for each of these DLC packs separately. So in the first pack that we're getting, which is in March 2015, you're getting 3 playable characters, aka GT Goku, aka that's Kid Goku, but from GT Trunks, and Pan. And you get also 4 Time Patrol quests, 12 quests, 15 special moves for your players' avatars, aka your character customization characters, obviously, and 5 new costumes for, you know, the other characters. So this is the first thing. This will cost $10, and then DLC Pack 2 has exclusive playable characters that have not been released yet or haven't been talked about yet, quests, special moves, and costumes. And for the third pack, it's the Turtle Hermit set, which is the Master Roshi set, Jocko the Patrolman set, and, well, not set, the Jocko the Patrolman character, and other highly exclusive content that has not been released yet. So, I think, honestly, I like the fact that these are getting actually like something in the game. I'm glad that GT is coming into the game anyway, even though like we all need to remember that GT itself was never planned for Dragon Ball Xenoverse before the fans said that they wanted it during the game. Well, yeah, somewhat during the game's development. So that's when GT was added in. So I think that this is a really cool thing. I'm glad. And yeah. And then with the screenshots we see, obviously Grade 8 Baby, and just know Grade 8 Baby is not said to be on this list as a character, so may not be playable. Like I don't think we're gonna be able to play as Grade Apes at all anyway, but he most likely will be in one of the quests. If I think anything, I think this will probably be the GT arc thing that I've always been talking about, maybe, but you know, we really don't know. I mean, this is where all the GT characters are, GT Trunks, GT Goku, and Pan, so I would assume that this is going to be the GT part of the DLC. And obviously DLC 2 and 3 are also going to be other stuff for all of your stuff in Dragon Ball Xenoverse. So now this is going to be a real video. I'm sorry that I'm going to be saying this, because I'm probably going to get a lot of dislikes for this, because, you know, I saw this at school and I was disgusted when I saw this. So, alright, everybody is complaining. Alright, first of all, I'm just going to say, if you say that Xenoverse is a bad game because it has DLC, that's just plain stupidity. Like, that's really just stupidity. Reason why? Well, the DLC does not contribute to the actual quality of the game itself. It doesn't really do anything to the game itself. If the main fighting system is good, then there's nothing that they could do in DLC that would really mess the game up in that respect. Like, you cannot say this game is bad because it has DLC. That doesn't make sense. And that's all I'm just going to say for that. And then I see a lot of people complaining, saying, oh man, that's unreasonable, man. How could you charge us for that? Okay, first of all, DLC is a part of gaming now. Like, we need to accept it. Like, I mean, I know that a lot of you are probably going to say, oh man, if you buy it, then you're giving into it. But if you don't buy it, you're not going to give into it. Trust me, there are plenty of other games out there that are getting sales for their DLC that are going to keep getting sales for their DLC. And DLC is not going to end anytime soon. Obviously, this is not the PS2 era where you're not able to get charged for things like this, but this is the point where we are going to be paying for DLC, like it or not. So characters like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, Omega Shenron, I'm glad that they're not DLC. Those are characters that are going to be available for the game from the beginning. So I'm happy that they're going to be included. Obviously, GT Goku, GT Trunks, and Pan are not some characters that people always want to play as. Maybe they are developing this during the time that we're seeing this. Obviously, it doesn't mean that everything is done just because we have screenshots, and the missions could obviously still be being worked on. And like, I don't understand why everybody's complaining about this. Like, if you don't like GT, you don't need to buy it, because the 15 special moves that we're going to be getting are most likely going to be ones from GT characters other than Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Omega Shenron, and the quests are maybe going to be the quest for GT. So pretty much this is a GT pack. So if you don't want GT, you don't like GT, then just don't buy this pack. You could just buy the other 2 DLC packs for 20, and I guess that you could actually have that and you could be fine with it. Like, it has like Final Shine Attack in it, and you know, if you want that, that's great. But if you don't, then just don't buy the first pack. We don't know what's in the other packs yet, so really there's not really that much place to judge those packs. But I just don't understand the fact that people are just complaining all the time, saying that this game is bad because it has DLC. Okay, this game, if it is good, like I personally believe that it will be good because I played the network test, I enjoyed it myself, and I think that this game will be good. And everybody's complaining, saying that this game is bad because it's DLC. Like, that makes no sense. Like, that's just how it is now. DLC is something that's going to be happening. And I mean, honestly, I see this as a bonus because we're always just asking for GT while the development of the game was happening. They were never planning on doing GT. They were never planning on doing it. Like, GT was never even thought of for Xenoverse. It was mainly supposed to be a Dragon Ball Z oriented game, which is Dragon Ball Z characters and a Dragon Ball Z storyline, which is what we're getting. We're getting that along with a lot of the characters who are in GT that are, like, I would understand if it was just the characters, but we're also getting missions and all this other stuff for this pack that it's like, it's $10. I would honestly not mind in any sort of way paying for that pack. I wouldn't mind, because that is something that will easily for me be something that's great, because I have not played as GT characters besides Ultimate Tenkaichi. I haven't played as GT characters since BT3, and I want to play as them again. So that's just me. A lot of people don't like GT, so they don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it. You could just buy the other 2 DLC packs if those even interest you. And if they don't, then don't buy them. That's just the plain fact of it. And saying that this could just be easily put into the game, you have no idea where they are in the development of this. They could be done with it, or they could not be done with it. They could be possibly making the missions right now, or they can not even have Trunks and Goku and all of them finished yet. They could just have their models. Like, we don't know anything that's happening over at DIM, so we don't know what's happening over there to where they're like, oh yeah, man, you instantly gonna be able to have all these in the game. Like, the other stuff's not even confirmed, like, to be anything yet, so most likely it's not even started development for those other 2 DLC packs. These are DLC packs after the game has come out. So, okay. You know how Ramstyle and I have been saying that they want this game to have some sort of longevity. They don't want this game to be like Raging Blast 2 and all those other games that people stop playing them after like a month or 2 because they got bored of it, because the content is just the same and they just like, yep, I'm done with this game. Like, they are doing DLC for that reason. Obviously, it's to make money as well. But that's the point of a company. Companies make money. That's the point. But like, they're putting out DLC packs later, after the game has come out, to increase your longevity with the game. You have new characters to master, you have new quests to go through, you have new stuff to do, you have new customization options, you get a whole bunch of new stuff. And for me, $10 for that GT pack, in my personal opinion, I mean, that's for me, I think that is worth way more than $10, probably $15. That's just me. Now, I'm saying this because I'm somebody who can pay for this stuff. Now, obviously, if you can't, well, then you could just wait, because remember, this is not something that's like, oh, this DLC is only available in March 2015 and then it's going away. This is DLC that'll be there for the longest time. You could just get this DLC whenever you really want. They are trying to capitalize with money on Xenoverse to make the most money out of Xenoverse, because Xenoverse is the first promising game that Namco Bandai has been standing behind since, well, actually, I don't even know how long it's been since they've stood behind a game's development for a Dragon Ball Z game. So, like, they want to make the most money out of this because they see that it has potential to be a really good game, that a lot of people will like it, so they're gonna try and capitalize on it as much as they can, and I do not blame them for that. As I said before, a company's main thing is to make money, so I'm not surprised that this is happening. So I know a lot of you are probably gonna get mad at this and gonna comment down below getting angry at me or disliking this video, and honestly, I don't blame you, because a lot of people are just uneducated in this subject. They don't know anything about DLC. They just think, oh yeah, they want me to pay for something, and that's it. And I honestly know that if they really wanted to release this, and like if Namco Bandai really just put this behind the paywall and this was already done, well, you know, that's just Namco Bandai. That's just them wanting to make the most money out of Xenoverse that they can, besides with pre-orders and all that stuff. And honestly, I just don't understand the people who say that Xenoverse is a bad game because it has DLC. That is the most dumb argument I've ever heard concerning Xenoverse. It's just, I just don't understand it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I kind of just did a community rant sort of thing, along with me talking about GT Goku, Pan, and Trunks, and I'm just going to talk about a little bit more of the stuff for these characters and all that stuff. I'm going to be done with this rant because this rant's kind of gone on a little bit too long. A lot of people are wondering about GT Trunks and why he has a sword on his back in the screenshot when he is supposed to not actually have a sword in GT. I don't know if it's maybe something of them changing the story to GT, because if it is a GT arc thing, then they could be just changing the story in some way, maybe giving him his sword or something along those lines. Either that or it could be Time Patrol Trunks. I really don't know. It could be either one of those things. But I honestly don't think that he is actually a costume, mainly because himself, it says that he is a playable character, 3 playable characters, GT Goku, Pan, and GT Trunks. So it seems like they're listing him as an actual separate character and not just a reskin of normal future Trunks. So I think that he's a separate character himself. The reason why he has a sword on his back in one picture and then he doesn't have it on his back in the other, I am not sure. Maybe it's just maybe an error. I'm not even sure. Maybe that could be Time Patrol Trunks, but I'm not really sure. But you know, we really don't know yet. Maybe it could have been an error, but I don't know. And then for the last thing I'm going to talk about, which is something that's kind of interesting. So in the pictures of Grade A Baby, who has also been revealed to be, I would assume he's going to be like only in DLC. I've actually seen that this created character is using the power pole, and he's actually using the power pole in his like combos, which is something I didn't expect. So I don't know if this is going to be for all like playable like created characters or anything, but if he's using the power pole like that, I don't know if he's going to be like using like the sword the same way. Like if you use the sword the same way, like using the sword and slicing with it with your created character, then that's a really cool thing, because honestly I thought that they weren't going to be allowing you to use the sword. It was only cosmetic. I thought that was what was going to happen, but it seems like that's actually not the case, or maybe it's not the case. This is speculation. I just don't have any idea why he's actually using the power pole in his combos when it's said that those are only supposed to be cosmetic. So maybe you can use them in battle, and if so, I cannot wait to use a power pole or a sword on somebody in multiplayer for Xenoverse. But yes, that is it for this video, guys. I know this video was long, there was a rant and all that other stuff, but that's just how I feel, and I know that a lot of you are going to be mad at this video, disliking it and all that stuff, and you know, I really don't have a problem with that. I mean, you know, whatever, it's just my opinion, and I guess that if a lot of you are angry at this is DLC, then I guess then I can't stop you. So go ahead with whatever comments or whatever you want to make, and yeah, that's all I gotta say for today, guys. Even if you didn't like this video, I'm glad that you watched it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and yep, that's all I gotta say for today, guys. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, as well as to subscribe if you have not already, and if you actually enjoyed this video, yep, that's all I gotta say for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.